Hi Leo, welcome to your reading. If you didn't see my Halloween update video, the readings are timeless now, which means that you can watch them whenever. So you don't have to feel like you missed out or you can't watch a video just because you're not watching it the week that it aired. And the second big update that I did was that I'm uploading on a schedule now. So your videos and the Aquarius videos are on Fridays. And the deck that I'm using is called the Spirit Within Tarot by Stephen Bright. And as always, if you guys are interested in a personal reading, the links are in the description. I dropped a card. So, oh. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take both these cards. So your overall energy for this week is the Page of Cups. So I think that you guys are definitely dealing with love this week is heavy on your mind. For the major arcana, I'm seeing the Sun and the Temperance, right? So the Temperance is the sign of Sagittarius, and the Sun is your guys' ruling planet. So we have a lot of like fire-ish energy right now. But I think that with this Page of Cups, you guys are definitely thinking about love. Something related to an offer, I feel. It may be that you guys have your eyes on someone. It may be that they just recently offered something to you guys. It might be that there's something in your near future that you have planned. Like maybe you have a date planned for in the near future, that kind of a thing. But I do see a lot of Swords energy. So I feel like you guys are really in your heads about this right now. With the 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, 2 of Swords, King of Swords, there's a lot of swords. And the swords are mental, right? So I'm feeling that you guys are very much in your head right now. I think that with this... with the 5 of Wands and the 2 of Swords, there's definitely some kind of a conflict here that has you feeling torn up inside, right? Because the 5 of Wands is conflict, maybe even competition, like romantic competition. But like, for those of you who it is romantic competition, I definitely don't see them, like if there is another person competing for the person that you're interested in, I don't see them winning out, especially not with the Sun card, which is the happiest card in the entire tarot. But I do feel like you're up in your head about it a lot. With this 2 of Swords, I feel like you're not quite decided, and you're sort of almost feeling trapped here with this 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is interesting because the 8 of Swords talks about a woman that's been tied up, and in theory she could use all the swords that are around her to cut herself free, but she's blindfolded, so she can't quite, so she doesn't know that she has all these solutions to her problem. It's like you're not quite seeing things for what they are right now, and I feel like your best bet is to sort of go inside and listen to your intuition, just because I feel like there's things that aren't necessarily being shown to you right now in like the physical world. And I feel like with this Temperance card, you're definitely sort of balancing that out. You're definitely doing like a balancing act between your intuition and what you know logically to be real in this sort of 3D experience. But I definitely see that you're that you're looking at a new stable beginning, right? Because you have this Page of Cups, and then you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is one of the best aces to get relative to relationships in the context of having a long-term relationship. So, like, the Ace of Wands is always great, the Ace of Cups is always great, but they always have this more potential to fizzle out, and because passion fizzles out really quickly. But the Ace of Pentacles isn't like that. The Ace of Pentacles is stable and will last a long time. So I feel like everything right now is just kind of dependent on what you're looking for. So I think that you're shaping up to get into a more stable long-term relationship. So definitely, if that's what you're interested in, then good for you. If you're not really looking for that, then maybe it might be good to look elsewhere. But I feel like for most of you, you are wanting that sort of stable, long-term, committed relationship. And with this Three of Wands, the Three of Wands talks about waiting for your ships to come in. So I feel like you've already taken your action, and now you're just waiting to see what your results are. The Knight of Swords talks about action. Talks about action. Talks about a message coming in. And with this King of Swords, I feel like you might be dealing with someone who's a very sort of intellectual type. It could also be a Sagittarius, because Sagittarius really like, studying, really like the acquisition of information and knowledge. And with this Temperance card, that's the sign of Sagittarius, and that's why I'm bringing it up. But the King of Swords more traditionally represents air signs. So those are Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. And I feel like you might be dealing with someone who has those qualities, who has that like sort of intellectual type quality, and who may be a little bit more cold on the emotional front. But I feel like regardless of what this person is or what they sort of front to the world, I see you as getting the sun out of the situation. So I feel like that's what a lot of people are telling you. Like, oh no, don't go for that person. He's too cold. He doesn't do this. He's just like, he's like a robot or whatever. But with this sun card, I feel like whatever it is that you want is definitely what you should go after. I definitely feel a level of confusion coming from you guys with this Two of Swords and this Eight of Swords, and even so much as this King of Swords. I feel like you guys are really up in your heads right now, and I feel like that's sort of the energy that you should be trying to move away from. I feel like you should try to get as much clarity as you possibly can. I know that's a little bit easier said than done, but I feel like now is the time to really sit down and decide on what it is that you want and what it is that you want to achieve. Because I see you having the potential to go after whatever it is that you want, and I see you working towards that, and I see you achieving your dreams, but it's almost like you're going back and forth on whether you want to or not. So I guess my biggest advice to you right now is sit down and have a sort of like self-kumbaya sort of talk with yourself and examine what your priorities are and what it is that you're thinking and what it is that you're feeling and how that affects your actions and how you want to move forward and all those things. Just because I see all this air energy anyway, so it might be time to sort of sit down and consult your heart and look at what it is that you're manifesting into your world, because I know that you will, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Sun right next to each other, one right above the other. Like, you have the potential, and I feel like the only thing that's really holding you back right now, because especially with this Three of Wands, I almost feel like you've already taken your action, but like I feel like your biggest drawback right now, or no, like your biggest obstacle right now is your own mind, because you're overthinking things. So maybe for some of you, it's time to make a heart decision and sort of move forward using what you believe to be your passion and what you believe, what you love, and those things that make you feel happy, that make you fulfilled emotionally. Because at the end of the day, I feel like people overlook that a lot of the times. And with the Sun card, it's very important to go after what makes you feel happy and what makes you feel emotionally fulfilled, because that's what the Sun card is about. It's about learning to play with your inner child again. And that was your reading for this time around, Leo. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment. It really helps out the channel, and I'd personally love to know if these readings resonate for you or not. And like I said before, I upload my new Leo videos on Friday, but you're more than welcome to look through my other timeless readings. And I hope to see you guys next time.